Zhuangzi's Fables and Their Wisdom. Module 4, On Pursuit. Lesson 3, Pursuing Freedom. Fable 1, In the Wild or in a Cage.
The other day I saw a chicken in the wild. It wandered freely in the hills, seeking food for itself.
A chicken in the wild? No cage to live in? No shelter from the rain and sun? What a poor thing.
If that is what you think the chicken is worried about, you are assuming things for the chicken.
Okay, I shouldn't have done that. So, why did the chicken live in the wild?
Let's ask the chicken. Why do you choose to live in the wild?
I like it here, with all the flowers and trees, creeks and rivers.
Isn't it difficult for you to find food and water?
Yes, I have to walk at least 10 steps in order to find a mouthful of food, and walk at least 1,000 paces to get some water.
Then why don't you live in a cage, so you get protected and fed by man?
If a chicken lives in a cage, he can be fed 3 times a day and eat like a king. But if he gets locked up, he will never be as free as me. I can go anywhere I want. Whatever I find, that is enough. Here Zhuangzi uses the images of chicken to show his longing for freedom. To eat like a king is good, but if the price you have to pay is your freedom, it's not worthwhile. Zhuangzi is not merely saying he is doing. When he was invited by King Wei of Chu to be one of his distinguished nobles, he simply said he would rather be a free tortoise dragging his tail in the mud than be restricted in the court of a sovereign. For him, freedom is more important than material pleasure. Many Chinese people in history, such as Zhuangzi, Tao Yuanming, Dai Jingshan, were greatly influenced by Zhuangzi's thoughts and pursued freedom in their life. Take Dai Jingshan, hereinafter referred to as Dai, as an example. The story goes like this. King of Wei heard that Dai was a talented man, so he called Dai in and had a talk with him. When he found that Dai was capable of being a minister, he asked Dai to stay and work for him, offering a very attractive salary. But Dai simply refused by quoting Zhuangzi's story of the chicken living in the wild, and explained that a caged chicken will lose its vigor and energy because it has lost its freedom. Fable 2. Forget each other in the rivers and lakes.
In the previous story, we learned about a chicken living in the wild. This time, I have a story about 2 fish. When the weather got extremely hot for a long time and the spring dried up, the 2 fish got stranded on the land.
Oh, poor thing. They must be struggling to stay alive.
It's too hot these days. The spring has dried up. I cannot swim, and I can hardly breathe.
So am I. Hey, buddy, come here. Let me spew my saliva on you so you can breathe more easily.
Oh, that's better. Thank you. Oh, you are all dry. Let me wet your body with my spit so you will feel better.
Thank you. I am much better now. I am so happy I have a friend like you.
Oh, I've had enough of this dry weather. I wonder when it will rain. I can't help thinking about the good old days when we were swimming in the rivers and lakes happily.
Me too. I can remember the time when there was so much water in the rivers and lakes that I could swim freely. So much water that I didn't have to live on other fish's saliva. So much water that I didn't even realize the existence of other fish. Although I am happy that I met you, buddy. I still wish we could go back to the old days. I'd rather forget each other in the rivers and lakes than staying here living on each other's saliva.
This fable is the source of a famous Chinese saying, rather to forget each other in the rivers and lakes than living on each other's saliva, a dry land. From the story we know that compared to freedom in the vast nature, the love between friends is small love. The hatred between enemies is small hatred, so spare yourself from small love and small hatred, and seek a carefree life in the vast nature. You can achieve true freedom. Interesting, people develop different usages for the saying. Have you ever read any wuxia novels, like the ones written by Jin Yong? Or watched any wuxia movies, like the ones performed by Bruce Lee or Jackie Chan? In such novels or movies, you can often encounter the phrase rivers and lakes, or jianghu, which is part of the saying we learn here. But the phrase is used in its metaphorical meaning in the community of martial artists, assassins, wanderers, and the other outsiders. The saying also serves as a euphemistic way to say goodbye to someone you love. Once anyone receives a card with this saying written on it, one should know that his or her lover actually wants to end their relationship. But please don't be sad. At least you regain your freedom, correct?